The return to the cavern. Ethan lay in his makeshift campsite, the Australian sun filtering through the canopy of trees above. His leg throbbed with pain from the snake bite, but he could feel the venom's grip loosening day by day. The antidote he had in his emergency kit had worked, but the recovery was slow and arduous. Each breath he took reminded him of his brush with death and the cavern that had almost claimed his life. As days passed, Ethan's strength began to return. He forced himself to eat, to drink, and to keep his mind sharp. The memory of the cavern's darkness and the unsettling discovery gnawed at him. Despite the danger, an inexplicable pull urged him to return. There was something in that cavern, something ancient and important, and he needed to uncover its secrets. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Ethan felt strong enough to stand. He tested his leg, gingerly at first, then with more confidence. The pain had dulled to a manageable ache. He packed his gear, determined to face the cavern once more. The journey back was grueling, each step a test of his resolve. The Australian outback was unforgiving, but Ethan's determination drove him forward. As he approached the entrance to the cavern, a shiver ran down his spine. The shadows seemed to whisper, beckoning him into the depths. With a deep breath, he stepped inside. The air was cool and damp, a stark contrast to the scorching heat outside. He switched on his flashlight, the beam cutting through the darkness. The familiar path seemed different, more ominous, as if the cavern itself was alive and watching. Deeper and deeper he ventured until he reached a new chamber, one he had not explored before. The beam of his flashlight revealed something extraordinary, ancient carvings covering the walls. The symbols and figures told a story of an ancient civilization, their lives, their beliefs, and their sacrifices. At the center of the chamber stood a stone altar, its surface stained dark with age. Ethan's heart raced as he approached the altar. There was an unsettling aura around it, a sense of foreboding that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. He reached out, tracing the carvings with his fingers, trying to decipher their meaning. The altar, he realized, was a place of sacrifice, a chilling reminder of the cavern's dark past. Suddenly, the ground beneath him began to tremble. The walls shook, and rocks fell from the ceiling. Panic surged through Ethan as he realized the cavern was collapsing. He turned and ran, his heart pounding in his chest. The path to the entrance seemed to stretch on forever, the shaking ground threatening to swallow him whole. As he sprinted through the dark passages, the flashlight flickered and went out, plunging him into darkness. Blindly, he stumbled forward, feeling his way along the walls. Rocks crashed around him, and the sound of the cavern collapsing grew louder. He tripped and fell, his hands scraping against the rough stone. Desperation fueled him as he scrambled to his feet and kept moving. A boulder crashed down just inches from where he stood, blocking the path ahead. Ethan's mind raced as he searched for another way out. He squeezed through a narrow gap between the rocks, his body barely fitting through. His breath came in ragged gasps as he pushed himself forward, the ground shaking violently beneath him. He could see the faint light of the entrance up ahead, but the path was blocked by fallen debris. With a final, desperate burst of energy, Ethan climbed over the rocks, his muscles burning with exertion. The entrance was within reach, but the cavern was collapsing faster now. He could feel the ground giving way beneath him. With one last leap, Ethan dove through the entrance and into the blinding sunlight. He tumbled down the rocky slope outside, landing hard on the ground. Behind him, the entrance to the cavern was sealed by fallen rocks, the secrets within buried once more. Ethan lay there, staring up at the sky, his body trembling from the adrenaline. He had escaped with his life, but the cavern's mysteries still haunted him. He knew he had found something extraordinary, something that connected him to a past long forgotten. Despite the danger, the adventure had changed him, and he would carry the memories of the cavern with him forever.